the Clippers team I want to talk about tonight is going to be the 2000 Clippers. Um, and what our segment being new, I think I just find it appropriate to pick that particular team because that's pretty much my introduction. Well, not my introduction, but that's like when I became a Clippers fan. And then heavily into another season. We'll get into that, but in another day. But 2000, that was our senior year. I just dated us. Um, we we were coming into this Clippers were coming into the season with the two rookies that everybody knew, Quentin Richardson and Darius Miles. And the team was just real exciting to watch. Um, it was an easy transition to me to just get into the Clippers at that particular time because I mean me originally my introduction to basketball was always was Michael Jordan, and because of Michael Jordan I was a Bulls fan. But when the '98 season ended, I mean we all saw the story, we all know what happened. I mean we saw it. I just couldn't ride with them once Jordan left. I couldn't ride with him, so it was just an easy transition for me to watch the Clippers
Yeah,
and get onto that
damn
team
right.
and
It was.
listen. So they had a fun and exciting team. They were fun to watch. Everybody know that team was popular from the Clippers doing
Yeah,
the
two
head
fists to the
taps.
head,
Yeah, and
knuckleheads.
we was running up and down the court doing that ourselves. So it wasn't just a Clipper fan thing only. It was just a basketball thing. And um, the Clippers, they had a good team. They had a really good team, at least on paper. They had a really good team that season. From like I just mentioned, Q, Darius. They had Lamar Odom, and then just a bunch of handful of players. Well, who am I forgetting? The Candy Man, Sean Rooks. I
Kinda.
mean, all these players, and essentially was just role players. But what's crazy? Like looking back on that team, our head coach Alvin Gentry, who is still a notable coach today. Um, I mean, was that like the start of his career, so to speak? But I don't know, man. That was a team that brought me to likeness of the Clippers, and it just went uphill for me from there. The winning we can't really talk upon, but at that particular point, that's when I just kind of started to see because, like, I remember conversations with you and one of our other boys, Lamar. We used to talk about it, and y'all was like, "Wait, you like the Clippers now? Like, when this happened?"
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, it was probably a shock to everybody because everybody in the family and the household is Laker fans. So for me to be on the other side of the fence, I mean, it's always been divided for me. But yeah, man, that 2000 Clippers, that was it for me.
yeah. It's interesting that that's the team you start with because um, I can relate. Like you said, that team was embedded in hoop culture because you had
Yeah.
Darius Miles, who was a young dude, and this is you know we're kind of going past the and one era,
Hmm.
but and one mixtape obviously was huge when we were younger kids and stuff, and
Hmm.
it was coming up. But what it did, it was more the slam magazine culture. Really, I think
Yes.
is what really created it because these players started to not only become just basketball players, but they became fashion icons. They became
Hmm.
trendsetters. They were marketing. I remember Quentin Richardson, Q Rich. He was from St. Louis, and it was like real synonymous with Nelly. And Nelly had a song out at the time called Pimp Juice, and
Hmm.
and I remember they were talking about that. And I remember our boy who used to work at the Fox Hills Mall or whatever would see a lot of the Clippers come through and
Yep.
stuff like that. Just working his job. He would tell us about the stories of those run-ins and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, like you said, the Clipper team, when you look at it on paper, when you look at their standings, I think they went 31 and 51 that season. They didn't make the playoffs. But what I remember very vividly about that team was they always gave the Lakers a good game. And you know, I looked it up like because it was. I just remember that year. You mentioned some of the players on that team. There was a player named Eric Piakowski on that team, and he used to always just hit big threes, just big shots. And there was a December 30th game where it went to overtime, and the Lakers, were out there lackadaisical. Kobe and Shaq was probably beefing, whatever, was going on with them. But no, this is 2000, so they actually were playing nice. But yeah, they the Lakers went on to win the title that year, but the Clippers gave them battles in every game. And I remember that December 30th game, it went to OT. And then I think a week later, they played again, and the Clippers blew us out. And I'll never forget that. Like I said, those teams, those players, very impressionable guys. Lamar Odom, who eventually became a Laker after that. So it was kind of like an embrace, because he was back in the city, and I remember just him being a very, very like highly level, highly skilled, player that just needed the right situation. And so that was a good team to highlight.
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a Clippers fan, but I'm a basketball fan first. And even though we say LA divided, I mean, I know what it is.
We also say NBA united. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I know what it is. I know the history, but those games against the Lakers was always our championship game. So we had to get up for those one games, because we got tired of the little brother talk and all that shit. So we had to do it.
Yeah. Nah, but it was, it was fun. And I think, obviously going through these spotlights of old Laker and Clipper teams, we're going to come upon some years where, you guys got it back. But in
took a while.
Let's just be clear, y'all was the JV team. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think y'all was allowed to play in the Staples Center at that point in time. Was y'all playing there, or was y'all still at the Sports Arena?
What, two? No, because we was at the Staples, and we came to we all came together.
Oh, got you. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, y'all came after we settled it.
We were allowed to come.
All right. Well.